All right, what is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to break down what to do if you do not have any closings. You got nothing as a real estate agent, you got nothing in the pipeline, nothing under contract, don't have any closings, but you need closings, you need money ASAP. Maybe you're in a tight spot, you're in a bind. How do you turn things around immediately and get your real estate business, get yourself to making money, getting closings, and kicking ass ASAP in your business? So let's just say, as an example, you need to start making 10 grand a month as soon as possible to turn things around for your current situation. And I was inspired to create this podcast today. I jumped on Facebook and I was just kind of burning some time, just dumb scrolling through Facebook. It's an agent that I don't know. I just saw it in one of these, Facebook groups. And it showed up in my feed, and an agent actually posed this exact question. So I figured I'd create a podcast on this because it's really important for us to know how to scale things up fast, because you might be in a situation where, whatever, you get yourself in a situation for whatever the reason may be, where you need to grow and scale income really fast, or maybe you're a team leader and broker owner and one of your agents is in this situation. You need to know how to do this. Now, I'm going to be breaking down a multi-prong strategy for you. So it's going to be threefold. We're going to talk about tapping into your sphere of influence. We're going to talk about tapping into your CRM, any leads that you have, either hot, warm leads or unnurtured leads, what to do there. And then we're going to be talking about new client acquisition strategies. Now, I would recommend, if you're a seasoned agent and you're in this situation, you're going to have a sphere of influence. You're going to have leads that are either unnurtured or warm, hot leads, or unnurtured leads, meaning neglected leads in your database that you can tap into. And then, of course, going after these new client acquisition strategies. Or if you're in a situation where, hey, maybe you're new, or you just switched markets and you don't have a sphere of influence, and you don't have any leads inside your CRM. Either way, I'm going to make sure you are covered here on this podcast as we break down this multi-pronged strategy here today. So before I jump into this multi-pronged strategy, make sure that you check out www.gsdmode.com for more additional free resources and more free training. And on there, I highly encourage you to take two actions. So the first action is to schedule a 100% free Zoom coaching call with me personally. That gives me the chance to learn about you, your business, your situation, your strengths, your biggest obstacles that you're experiencing, what your goals are, what your 12-month goals are, what your long-term goals are. And then based on that information, then I can help you come up with and craft the most effective strategy for you, based on, again, those things about you, because real estate's very nuanced. There's no best strategy for everybody. It's about identifying the best strategy for you to ensure that you go out there and crush your real estate goals. 100% free, no strings attached. If you want to schedule that, again, go to www.gsdmode.com. The second action I recommend that you jump on and take advantage of is my 3-hour in-depth masterclass taking place right now. It's an online webinar. You can watch it from anywhere. It's going on every single day right now, and it's 6 steps to 3xing or more your real estate business in the next 12 months. Look, I understand that it's challenging times out there, but there is no reason, no excuse as to why you should not be kicking ass and having your best year yet in this industry. But we got to operate differently. You need to treat your business as a business. These are me breaking down the 6 most important foundations that I've learned on my 20-year-long real estate journey that have allowed me to become one of the top realtors and team leaders on the planet, with selling over 7,000 homes. The things that you need to dial in to continue to grow and scale your business and kick ass in your business regardless of the marketplace. Again, both of those things you could do at gsdmode.com. All right, so let's jump on into this multi-pronged strategy to turn your real estate business around ASAP. So if you don't have any closings, got nothing in the pipeline, and you need money fast. Now, the first thing that I'll say, and I think that we hopefully all get this, but just in case, look, when I talk about, turning things around fast, if we're focused on the more immediate style strategies, okay, look, you might be able to start making money in 60 days, but more like probably 90. Okay, it's not like me. As some of you might know, I in addition to having my real estate business, I also own a supplement company. So that supplement company, okay, I can go out there and get sales today, get money in my bank account today. With real estate, okay, even if I get a client today, right? Well, let's just say I get a buyer client today. Okay, I got to get them qualified, got to go through all of that. And let's just say we're able to do all of that today, get a buyer broker agreement signed, get them qualified. Okay, well, I still maybe have to go spend a week or 2 weeks finding them the home, Then maybe we're spending a few days in, contract negotiation. Then we get it under contract. Then it's another 30 to 45 days to get that thing closed. Then maybe it takes another 2-3 days for my broker to process that commission check and have it direct deposit in my account. So it's like, okay, we're still talking, 30 to 45 days, even if all the stars align, right? So when I'm talking about immediate turnarounds, when I'm talking about immediate style ways of doing our business, immediate strategies, I'm talking about now immediate income in this business, I'm really talking about, okay, what are the most effective ways that we can generate income and really start turning things around in like less than 90 days, right? Okay, so step number one is going to, because again, this is a multi-pronged strategy. So like, okay, if this particular person that posted this was one of my agents or a coaching client and reached out to me, this is what I would recommend for them to do and tap into. Okay, so the first thing is tapping into your sphere of influence. Now, your sphere of influence, these are those warm relationships, people that know you, like you, trust you. So this is going to include your past clients. This is going to include friends, family members, people that are inside your community that know you, right? I'm going to tap into that. Most agents, and the reason why I'm bringing this one up, look, maybe you're on your A game with your past client repeat referral business, so this may or may not apply to you, but the vast majority, 90% plus of this industry do this very half-ass or really do this non-existent. They just go out there, they close the deal, collect a commission check, see you later. They're not operating with intention with their sphere of influence with all these warm relationships. So let's just say that's you, right? Like maybe you haven't done it all, or you've done a half-assed job with this. Okay, I would jump on and start having conversations. I would spend an hour of your day reaching out to everybody that you know, all friends, family members, past coworkers, anybody that's in your damn cell phone. And as well as, of course, all of your past clients, and start having great, effective conversations with them. You don't need to beg for business, right? Like you just start pouring into them, asking about them. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while since we talked. Just want to check in, see how you're doing. How's the family? How's life? They're going to ask about you. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Amanda and the kids are doing great. Appreciate you asking. And real estate business has been good. Now that, prices are starting to come down a little bit, there's affordability, there's more homes on the market, interest rates have got a little bit of relief. So, things aren't still super affordable, but getting a little bit more affordable. So, it's been much better. And starting to get busy again because people are starting to, transact more and buy and sell real estate more. So yeah, things are going good. They're good. I appreciate you asking, right? That's me just planting that seed, right? That, hey, because again, with the name of the real estate game is to get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, stay in touch with them frequently, your business continues to grow, right? So we want to make sure that these people are not just doing business with us, but shooting us, repeat referral business. They become walking, talking testimonials, right? And then at the end of that, you can ask them, hey, just out of curiosity, man, is there anybody that that's looking to buy or sell? Or if you don't want to take that approach, if that feels a little too icky for you, if that feels a little too, in your face, you can go with a reverse strategy like I do, where I just thank them. I just thank them there for, hey, before I let you go, just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for your ongoing support. As you know, in the real estate industry, being a real estate agent, I don't get paid a salary. I don't get paid hourly. The only way I get paid and I'm able to create opportunities and put food on the table for my family is my amazing clients like you, the business that you do with me, and the friends, family members, coworkers that you continue to refer my way. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that support that you continue to provide me. So it's kind of like a selling without selling, reverse selling, if you want to, reverse cycle, I don't know what you call it there, but it's just it's the way I like to go out there and do things, because I'm always planting that seed and then teaching and training them to always do business with me, do repeat business with me, and then refer me that business when that comes in. Cause they're like, well, shit, I haven't seen a referral. Like, or like I haven't seen a referral. Maybe like, right. It just registers in their mind that, okay, I need to be doing this. So then ongoing, making sure that once you have that initial conversation with them, that boom, you are continuing to follow up every single 90 days. Like I get a past client, put in my CRM, click a button, reminds me every 90 days for the next 20 years. So I never forget to do my 90-day check-in calls with them. Then from there, okay, maybe it's somebody that you haven't talked to in years. Like you were that typical realtor that closed that commission check, peace out, see you later. You haven't called them in 3 years. You haven't talked to them in 3 years. And you're like, well, what do I even say? I feel bad. Look, just keep this stuff simplistic. Keep this stuff basic, right? Just be like, hey, I was driving down the road the other day. Just and you popped in my head. I was thinking about you, and I realized, man, it's been several years since we talked, and just want to check in and see how the heck are you? How's the family doing? Right. And then as you start wrapping up that conversation, hey, I really apologize about dropping the ball and letting 3 years pass. Since we spoke, I promise I won't make that mistake again. I'll check in more frequently. If there's anything that you need, anything I can do to serve, support, and help, real estate related or not just here to be your realtor, but here to be a resource and a friend in any way I can. Please feel free to reach out anytime. Hope great talk with you. Right? Like, okay, you just want to keep those relationships alive, and there can be some business in there. So this is, again, I'm not going to allocate most of my day, but this is where I'm going to allocate 1 hour of my working day to this situation, right? To jumping on this portion. Okay, now let's go into prong number 2. So prong number 2 is tapping into your CRM. So first I would sift and sort through any warm or hot leads, like look, and how do we define that? Okay. Like warm, I would call that, okay, anybody that's looking to buy or sell, or you've had a conversation with anybody that's looking to buy or sell in 6 months, that kind of 3 to 6 month window. Hot's going to be anybody that's looking to buy or sell within, 90 days or less. So I'd start tapping into those, working those, following up those like crazy. Then on top of that, any unnurtured or neglected leads in your CRM, I'd be jumping on those and pounding those immediately. So depending on how big your list is, this is going to be your CRM database, right? That's what I mean by list. This is probably going to be another hour or so of your day, right? So we got an hour for sphere of influence, we got an hour for that CRM, and maybe it's a lead. Maybe it's a Google pay-per-click lead, Instagram lead, Facebook lead, whatever, open house lead. Maybe you haven't talked to them for 2 years, okay? Like that's a neglected lead that you dropped the ball on probably inside your database, right? Like, okay, when you're reaching out to them, let's just say it's a buyer lead, just keeping it basic. Let's just say their name's, I don't know, Joe. Hey, Joe, this is just Joshua Smith with XYZ Real Estate. Hey, it's been a while since we last spoke. I just wanted to check in, have a quick conversation with you. Last time we spoke, I know it was a couple years ago, but at that time it looked like you were possibly interested in buying a home here in Peoria, Arizona. And I just want to see if that's something that you still have some interest in. And then just pause and shut up. Oh, we already bought. Right? Oh no, we are looking, right? Like I'm just going to kind of be short to the point, that's a solid, low tonality, neutral tonality, good pre-frame there, with that, but it's a good overall response. Like we're going to get to that point and sift and sort through that, right? So, okay, tapping into your CRM, because there's going to usually be some gold there. I can't tell you how many coaching clients will come to me and they'll be like, hey man, looking to grow and scale my business, double, triple, but then, okay, like I create that overall protocol, that plan for a re-engagement with all of their old leads. And then next thing you know, we got to the point where they're popping an extra deal a month with just a re-engagement campaign on the thousands of leads that they just neglected over the years, or that just won't work properly over the years. Now, of course, we're going to still do some new client acquisition stuff, because a lot of my coaching clients are wanting to go from, let's just call it 30 deals to 100 deals a year and then scale team, whatever that looks like, right? So make sure that you're tapping into that. Okay, number 3, and this is where the vast majority of your time allocation is going to be spent, is on new client acquisition strategies. Now, when it comes to now immediate business, we really want to target on people that need to buy, that need to sell, not that just want to buy or want to sell, but that need to buy, need to sell. Because again, I mean, it's the law of averages. It's a numbers game. You're going to have your immediate people, your 3-month people, your 6-month people, your 12-month people, your 2-year people. And look, I'm always playing the long game. But if I'm in a tight spot, I need now immediate money. So I really want to target people that are in the most pain with their current living situation or the current situation where they're going to have the highest level of urgency of needing our business right now. So with this, okay, there's a few ways that are going to lead to that. I've just discovered over 20 years of doing this and selling over 7,000 homes. So doing this personally at a very high level, plus coaching and mentoring over 5,000 realtors, team leaders, and broker owners. There are a few ways that are, hands down the most effective for now immediate business, right? And you might want to do all 3 of these, but you can just do one of them, as well. And I'll kind of elaborate on that a little bit more here. So first one I'll talk about is open houses, right? And look, I get it. The stuff that leads to now immediate business is typically the more pain in the ass stuff. It's like in a perfect world, yeah, all these leads would be coming to us. They'd be reaching out to us. They'd be inbound style leads, booking on our calendar, booking on our schedule. Yeah, that's awesome. And that's the way that I love doing business. That's the way I prefer to scale and grow my business. But those are longer term strategies. Those are not going to, like, the shit that leads to now immediate money just happens to be the shit that's kind of time. It's not marketing, right? It's more prospecting. It's more time, right? It takes more effort, kind of more the pain in the ass stuff, but that's okay. Like, we got to just pick and choose. Hey, do I want the pain in the ass of struggling and not knowing how to put food on the table for my, my family and my kids, and have to go through the pain of maybe having to drop out of this industry and go get another job or drive Uber, whatever, or do I have the pain of doing the activities? You just got to pick and choose. This doesn't mean this has got to be forever, but we got to, sometimes we got to do what we got to do to turn shit around. Okay. So open houses, quickest way to now money in this business, period, that I have found, that I've discovered. If I needed a client like this week, okay, I'm going to go out there and do open house and or open houses. And I will get a customer client this week that I can get under contract really, really fast, right? So open houses, even, okay, yeah, there's ways to go out there, we'll talk about here in a minute, of targeting sellers, but it's still not going to lead to now as quick of money. Plus, you're going to have that financial cost and the listing the properties and promoting the properties. And especially as the market in most markets is softening, shifting from a seller's market to more of a buyer's market. Okay, listings are taking longer, right? Listings, like if I get listings, that might be more of a, 90, 120 days to now money by the time I get the listing, get it ready, get it prepped, get it on the market. And then maybe it's on the market 50, 60 days before we go into contract. Then it's another 30, 40 days before it closes, assuming it doesn't fall out and everything, all the stars align, right? So, okay, open house is going to be the quickest way to now immediate money inside your real estate business. But just like all things, your output is equal to your input. If you do things half-ass, if you do things like everybody else in this industry, you're going to get bad, half-ass results, right? Like, one of my first mentors in this business, the best piece of advice I was ever given, he's like, dude, Josh, is do the opposite, pretty much what everybody else does, and you will have big success, right? And then he went deeper into that of learning how to differentiate and how to study just the actual producers and the people that are crushing it. And because, dude, the average realtor would make more money working at McDonald's than they do in the business, in the real estate business full time, right? The average person in this industry is broke as a joke. They're not doing anything, right? They're doing very little just to survive somehow for, 20, 30 years straight. That's why I don't also pay attention to how long somebody's been in the business, because a lot of people that have been in the business that sold less homes in their 20-year career than I did, in one single year, right? So we gotta make sure that we're doing things in the right way. Now, I'm not going to break down how to do open houses effectively, because I got tons of podcasts on that you can go out there and watch on my 6-step open house process. But if you go out there and nail open houses, okay, boom, like, you can get buyers now, get out there, get them qualified, start showing them properties. Like, look, I've had people leave to bring back tax returns to me so I can get it to the lender at the open house, right? Like, you can be signing buyer broker agreements, doing buyer consultations. Even if you do open houses right, you're also going to get listings from your open houses as well. Okay, so, prong number, with our multi-pronged strategy when it comes to new client acquisition, okay, I'm going to start pounding open houses personally right out of the gate, and I'll do as many as I need to go out there and do. So meaning that, okay, if I got to do 7 a week, go out there and do 7 a week, right? Like, look, dude, you have nothing in the pipeline. You need money. You got to do what you got to do to turn your situation around. You shouldn't be watching TV. You shouldn't be chillaxing. You shouldn't be having fun, right? Like, if you are in a bad spot, you should be doing nothing other than freaking sleeping, eating, I don't know, shitting, showering, right? And getting business done. So you can take care of your business and your family. Okay, so then from there, element number 2 then is I'm going to be at the same time pound and phone prospecting. So I'm just walking through what I would do, right? So I'd be hitting open houses. Then from there, I'd be phone prospecting. So this is where I'm stacking up listings. So I have open house opportunities, plus then I can start stacking up the listing side of the business as well. Now, when it comes to phone prospecting, again, I'm going to be targeting people that have the most pain, the most urgency. I'm not going to be circle prospecting. I'm going to be going after expireds or FSBOs or absentee owners or people going through a divorce or pre-foreclosures. Those are the 5 hottest, kind of highest converting, most urgency seller sources right now here in 2024, leading into 2025, to go out there and get listings. So, okay, for me, I'm probably going to invest 2 hours of my day pounding phone prospecting Monday through Friday so I can start stacking those listings, because I know if I do that, targeting the right people with the right strategy, the right skill set, the right process, I can easily start stacking a listing a week with 2 hours a day. So I'm going to be hitting 100 dials, 10 conversations per day. So I got 2 hours of my day doing that. I got, probably about 30 minutes of my day following up with all my open house leads. I got an hour of my day tapping into my past client sphere of influence. I got an hour a day, roughly of tapping into my CRM. So then now I still got 5-6 hours a day or more, right, to go out there and nurture the business, client appointments, seller. Because again, if I'm in this situation personally, man, I'm going to go out there and grind 10-hour, 12-hour work days. I'm going to do what I got to do to go out there and turn this situation around, right? And 7 days a week if necessary, right? Like again, you got to do what you got to do. You got yourself into a bind. You got yourself into a bind because you took your foot off the accelerator, right? You got yourself lazy. And I've done it too. I'm not trying to pick on you. Like it's happened, right? I know this stuff because I allowed this shit to happen to myself too. I've taken my eye off the ball. I've gotten content. I've gotten comfortable. And then next thing you know, I'm like, shit, man, I'm in some trouble. I got to turn this stuff around. So, I had to learn this stuff the hard way too, man. Okay. Then the last element, if necessary, personally, I would just be pounding those first two. But another way to now immediate business is reaching out to top agents and top team leaders in your office, in your market, in your area. Because one thing that top agents and top team, like they're damn good at lead gen, right? But then usually they're going to have an abundance of unworked, unnurtured leads inside their CRM because they're so damn good at lead gen, but it's hard to be able to continue working all those leads. So I create an arrangement, again, if necessary, if needed, where I go to them and be like, hey, open up your database to me. To any unnurtured leads, any leads that have been neglected that aren't worked, I will attack those. I will work the hell out of those. Anything I convert, I will give you a 50%, I'll split that deal with you 50-50. So again, that would be, that's an option for now immediate money. And it's something that, is very, very effective to go out there and do. So it's just another option. That's not the one I would personally do because I'd be hitting open houses. And, okay, in my market, I'd be hitting open houses and calling absentee owners Monday through Friday, calling absentee owners every single Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., pounding that open house, right? And then, tapping into my sphere of influence, tapping into my CRM, doing the things that I broke down here. And that would then lead me to going out there. Like, this is a plan. I know I talked about in the beginning, like, okay, if you need to start making 10 grand a month, this is really a plan. Like, yeah, to, make sure that we pop that 10 grand in that next, 45 to 60 days. But if you can stick consistent with this plan, this is a plan to be scaling up to like, 4 to 8 closings per month, right? So to really turn that situation around at scale. So those are the things that I would do if I were in a situation where I had nothing in the pipeline, no closings, nothing in the pipeline. I needed money, needed to turn things around ASAP. And look, a ton of other things work. I'm not saying this is not a podcast about open houses or phone prospecting, right? I'm just saying that these are the most immediate ways, the quickest ways to go out there and get money and do now business. There's so many things that work in this business. You hear me talk about this all the time on the podcast. Everything works, nothing doesn't, but you got to pick something, right? And when we're picking that, our strategy and or strategies, we got to make sure that they are in alignment with what our current situation is. So we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention to what our timeline is like, meaning how long can you go without a paycheck before you're broke and before you're in some trouble? So we got to assess that. Like, I might have an agent that's like, hey, I really want to build my business through YouTube and social organic, but then maybe they need income. Like if they don't make a paycheck in the next 4 months, they're in big trouble. Okay. Like I would then, help them structure. Okay. We'll do YouTube and your social media organic is your long-term play, where eventually they'll replace these things, but then to ensure that they're not in trouble and not having to become a statistic where they're having to drop out of the business ASAP, come around and probably have them start pounding open houses or phone prospecting or a combination of those both to solve the immediate now needs. And again, eventually the long-term stuff will replace the immediate, so it won't be a forever thing. Like, I'm not one that wants to do open houses forever. I'm not one that wants to pound the phones forever. To me, like, okay, for a 20-year career of sitting there 6 hours a day pounding the phones, that's nothing that's something that I didn't want to do and go out there and build. That does not sound like fun to me. Might to you, and cool. If that is, then keep doing it, right? But like I had to do the now immediate stuff because when I got in the business, man, it was like, dude, I had a $1,000 to my name to get licensed. I exhausted that $1,000. And I had about 30 days worth of credit card cash advances where, like, dude, if I didn't put a deal on a contract in my first 30 days and make a commission check within that first, 45 to 60 days, I was going to be in massive trouble. right? That was my situation. Not telling anybody to go out there and do what I did. I was 23 years old, wasn't married, didn't have kids. I could go out there and roll the dice and take some risks, but started pounding open houses every single day from the day I got licensed, because I had a great mentor and, I did my due diligence. So I had a plan in place. While I was going to real estate school, I very quickly realized that, man, they ain't teaching us crap on how to go out there and make money, so I need to have a plan in place. So as I was going to real estate school, I started, meeting with all the top producers I could in my market, chose the right mentor, but I chose them and started having those conversations way before I got licensed. So I already knew from the second I got licensed what my game plan was. I wasn't going to be one of these realtors that got licensed and then spends the first 6 months figuring it out. Because my situation, I couldn't do that. Maybe you're in a situation, or others are in a situation where they can do that. They got tons of money in the bank. I didn't. I was broke as shit. 23-year-old, that never made more than $10 an hour before I jumped into real estate. I was broke as hell. Like I had to, I couldn't risk it. I couldn't gamble. I had to hit the ground running to make sure I had the right execution plan. Well, I did an open house every day my first 4 days. Got my first client in that fourth open house. The luck element of it was that they were a cash buyer. So we're able to go out there and find them a property right away, cash, quick close, 3-week close. So I got that paycheck in that first 30 days. Right? Now people go to me like, oh man, you're so lucky you got your first client in your first 4 days. I'm like, yeah, I did more open houses in my first 4 days than most realtors that I talk to that are struggling have done in 6 months, right? And then from there, I kept that going, 5 to 7 open houses every single week, until I got to the point where I couldn't do that volume, but that's what allowed me to do 48 deals my first year, then 103 the second, continue to grow and scale my real estate business, right? So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Well, let me hit on this before I wrap this up. Look, you got to deal in realities. So in this situation, if you are in this situation, because you guys look, I've been broke so many damn times, before I got into real estate, but then once I got into real estate, and look, I'm one of these guys that took me a long, long time to figure out how to manage money. And I was making good money. I was, when you're 23 years old and you go from making $10 an hour to making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I'm in my mid 20s now making, 700 grand. And, by the time I'm 26, I'm breaking that million mark. Man, I was spending it faster than I was freaking making it. And just thought that was never going to end, so I'm one that I've made it, I've lost it all, had to rebuild, made it, lost it all again, remade it. So look, I get it. I understand it. But in these situations, we got to get to work. We cannot feel sorry for ourselves. We cannot be a victim. You got to put in the work. And sometimes that's, in those situations that I've been, it's 7 days a week, 10, 12-hour work days, 7 days a week for as long as it takes until I got the infrastructure in place and the reserves and the income need, and I can start backing off slightly, right? But you got to do what you got to do, man. Unfortunately, we live in a world where money is a necessary resource to just go out there and live life, right? So you got to do what you got to do in these situations. So don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't allow yourself to be a little punk and a little victim, feeling bad for yourself. And, oh, woe is me, poor is me. Get your ass out of bed. I know it's difficult. You can be depressed. You can be down, but get your fucking ass out of bed. Get to fucking work. Grind it out. And you will turn your shit around, right? At least, I have. And anybody, there's no reason why you couldn't, right? Unless you don't really want it. So anyway, hope that this is helpful. Again, make sure to check out gsdmode.com for more additional free training and resources. Keep crushing it. Keep kicking ass. I'll see you next time. Peace.